What is going down, you guys? It's your boy Super Saiyan MMA, and oh my god, what amazing fights we had this weekend. I mean, wow. Every, almost every Brazilian won that night, except for the ones who had that belt. We're talking about Davidson Figueiredo and Glover Teixeira. But Glover versus Jamahal Hill. Oh man, this went the distance. And while I kind of saw it coming, it was really up in the air because Jamahal Hill has insane power. And Glover Teixeira, like I said before in my previous video, if you haven't seen it, Glover Teixeira versus Hill pre-fight look, I mentioned that Glover Teixeira is really good at weathering them storms and pushing through that brutality and just being able to just stay in the fight and do what he does best, and that's fight through it until he gets that win. And that's exactly what happened. It was insane. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous for Jamahal Hill. I was so nervous. Right off the back, the crowd was brutal during Hill's walkout. They were just, doing that cutthroat sign, and they were yelling at him. And, they had just lost the champ on the previous fight. And Moreno had to run out of the cage as the Brazilian fans were launching just things at him. But it's all G though. Moreno was just laughing it off. I mean, it was insane. He got that W. And now it was Jamahal Hill's turn. And you could just hear that song that I can feel it coming in the air tonight. You know what song I'm talking about. I had to sing it because I can't play it here. But he came out. We all know what that meant. He was feeling it. He wasn't nervous. He was ready. He was focused. He knew what he had to do, and he did it. Jamahal Hill went out there and did what he had to do. Now, Glover Teixeira came out to Welcome to the Jungle. And it was definitely a rumble in the Brazilian jungle indeed. Both of these fighters, they both came out with everything on the line, and to my surprise, it went the full distance. No doubts on Jamahal Hill, but I had some questions. I had some questions. Can he go the distance all 5 rounds with a heavy grappler like Glover Teixeira? We saw it against Thiago Santos, and at the end of that fourth, he let it all out of his gas tank. He was on E, and it made me question how he would be with a strong grappler like Glover Teixeira, someone that he can't put away so easily. And I have no questions at all anymore because it was clear to me that Jamahal Hill learned a lot from that Thiago Santos fight. He learned how to reserve his gas tank, and he learned how to use that takedown defense a lot better. We saw how he never accepted that position when he would get taken down by Thiago Santos. And I said it in the last video, and it's exactly what he came out and did. He did not accept those positions every time Glover Teixeira did take him down, which wasn't that many. It really wasn't that many times. He tried, and you got to give Glover Teixeira. The dude is an absolute legend. The dude is a warrior. He did not quit. He did not stop. They did not stop the fight, although honestly, I feel like they probably could have stopped the fight after the third, definitely after the fourth, and at some point during the 5, maybe at the end, just to give him that TKO. But I don't see. Let me see. How can I put it? I understand why they didn't stop the fight. I understand why the corner didn't stop the fight, and I understand why the referee didn't stop the fight. Because the Brazilian fans are brutal, man. They will probably tear that whole place up if they think the fight was stopped just a little bit early. And this being Glover Teixeira's last fight, the dude had to go out on his shield And he did. He stayed in this fight. He had a nasty eye gouge. He was just getting brutalized and pummeled and just he was getting very tenderized by Jamahal Hill. Ooh, a little tenderoni. But you know, he did it. He executed almost everything exactly the way he should have. Like I said, he stuffed those takedowns. He pressured Glover Teixeira. He stayed in his face. He countered really well. He stayed very patient, which was a thing I was hoping he would do. Not go for the kill the minute that he thought he had Glover Teixeira, because watching tape on Glover Teixeira, you'll see the guy is very, very durable. He's just a hard head, I guess. I don't know, but you can't put that guy. Guy's built like a tank. He can weather the storm, stay in the fight, and like I say, I admitted I was kind of nervous for Jamahal Hill, because there were times where Glover was hurt, but he's still very dangerous, and Glover was landing really good, heavy shots on Jamahal Hill, and he had a great takedown, and he had a good mount position at one point, and it looked like he was going for a sub, but Hill was just really good at staying patient, very good fight IQ, able to read what was happening. He saw it, was able to reverse the position, and just got that top position and just continued just landing elbows and grounding and pounding Glover Teixeira. That face was jacked up. The doc looked at it though, and he said he was good to go. Just carry on the fight. And even though I was like, please stop the fight. This man should not get any more cuts, any more hurt than he should. But it was a title fight in Brazil. That's, I keep saying that, but it carries a lot. And if you've seen UFC, MMA, or anything in Brazil, you'll understand exactly what I mean. It's just, it's a really huge sport out there, and people take that shit seriously. So, but everything was good. The doc said carry on, and Glover Teixeira, being the warrior that he is, he did. He never stopped. He never stopped. He even waved at Jamahal Hill at one point, telling him to bring it on. And Jamahal Hill was very smart at the end of that fight. He kept his distance. He knew he had won the fight already. Kept his distance, didn't put himself in danger, and didn't continue to hit Glover Teixeira as much either, which I think was, just kind of a sign of respect. Like, there's no need for it anymore. I won. And he left it all out there, man. The guy was so emotional at the end, Jamahal Hill, and he's gone through so much. He's one of the first guys from the Dana White's Contender Series to win a belt. It's really huge. This guy started from the bottom, and he got all the way to the light heavyweight belt champ, and left Brazil with it. And Glover Teixeira, being the respectful man that he is, talked to the crowd and told them not to disrespect Jamahal Hill the way they did Moreno. And I thought that was really cool of Glover Teixeira. That just goes to show Glover Teixeira is he's such an amazing dude. Like, he's such a great fighter. I remember seeing Glover Teixeira when he first started fighting way back in the day. I remember him because he caught my eye, because he pointed at Mike Tyson during a fight, and he said that he was a big fan of his. And he came from the pit, which was Chuck the Iceman Liddell's gym, and they had some similarities. They had some knockout power, but Glover Teixeira was just on his own. He was Glover Teixeira, and I remember he fought John Jones, and John Jones did what John Jones does, but Glover Teixeira, the way he was able to just come back from all of that and win that belt versus Jan Blachowicz, like that right there, I believe was the staple to everything. I believe like everything that he did was for that reason, and he got it. Like, he did everything that he was supposed to do. He got through all the obstacles, and he managed to get that belt. And at his age, it's amazing what he's done. So hats off to Glover Teixeira, but Jamahal Hill was just too fast that night, man. He was too fast. He was very smart, and he just outlanded Glover Teixeira by a lot. He did not stop landing, just throwing and kicking and landing some great head kicks, and it was just overall an amazing fight. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's not that hard. Free MMA fights, just Google it, and I'm sure you can find it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's what I do. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for listening. I hope I can make a Moreno versus Figueiredo video at some point, maybe. But until next time, I'll catch you guys.
Congratulations. I'm coming. I'm coming! Congratulations.